I'd like to call up Senior Corporal Jaime Castro, who's going to speak on errands.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Senior Corporal Jaime Castro. With me here as well are former 3080 unit members. I have to my right Senior Corporal Jark, Senior Corporal Gomez, Senior Corporal Peterson, Sergeant Garcia, Detective McLemore, Officer King, Sergeant Mata, and Officer Starr. We all stand here as brothers of Lorne. I have been entrusted with the difficult task to find the words to remember my brother Lorne Ahern. I pray that my words may bring honor and recognition to my fallen brother in blue, so that all of you can leave here with a clear understanding of what a great man he was in and out of uniform. When I sat down to gather my thoughts, the first word that came to mind was hero. I'd like to start here and tell you what it was like to patrol the streets of South Dallas with a true hero. I'll never forget the day we all first met Lorne. The first thing that I thought when I saw him was, how the heck is this guy gonna get in and out of a squad car? He was huge. My second thought was, he's gonna have a ton of suspects take off running on him because he's never gonna catch anyone. Boy, was I wrong. I was the one that would later lose the suspects. He'd come back to the scene with his in cuffs, and mine always seemed to be able to jump into the car and get away. Lorne worked harder than any rookie I ever worked with. He could obviously run. He could write some of the best reports and letters I've ever read. He could cite rules and laws word for word. Lorne did things the old school way. He worked hard to earn it. He refused to have anything handed to him or given to him. He constantly said he wanted to be part of the 3080's unit. We, on the other hand, had to constantly remind him that he had to take baby steps. And Lorne, to this day, has no idea what it means to take baby steps. 3080s were a highly respected dope squad assigned to the toughest area in Dallas at the time, at Southeast Patrol. As time went by, we had the honor to see him grow as an officer. The day finally came when it was time for Lorne to prove he had what it took to be a 3080. Believe it or not, it was a summer night. Lorne and I crawled into some bushes to conduct surveillance on some suspected dope dealers. To this day, I have no idea how Lorne was able to make himself small and squeeze into those bushes without getting 5-0'd. In other words, without being spotted by the bad guys. The time was here. We had enough information to raid the location. It was dark. I remember looking at him. We had to be quiet. So I whispered, "Are you ready to run up there?" I told him, don't you leave my side. No matter what happens, we don't separate. Lorne then grabbed me by the shoulder and said, don't worry, brother. I got your back. I'll take a bullet for you. That's when I knew Lorne had what it took to be a 3080. And above that, a great Dallas police officer. He understood the brotherhood. He understood the camaraderie. He had become a member of the family in blue. Lorne went on to become a true legend. The bond that the 3080s had was unbreakable. No matter how bad things got, we had each other's backs. We loved each other enough to lay our lives down for each other. My partner goes home before I do. We were a family. Lorne was a true blessing to this community. His work is evident with peaceful vacant lots, boarded houses where once violent, rampant drug sales once plagued hundreds. Once plagued the community he served. Lorne took part in hundreds of dangerous high-risk drug raids. None of us needed tasers. None of us needed batons or fancy equipment. We never once had to fire our weapon. All we needed to do was deploy meat. And the problem was solved. I'll never forget that fateful night when I learned at the hospital that my dear friend was one of the officers fighting for his life. Lorne, I know you're up there listening, brother. And I want you to know I was there outside the window by your side to see you take your final breath. You weren't alone. I had your back as you always had ours. It was of no surprise when I learned that Lorne's final moments were spent protecting others from harm, even if they were there to protest displeasure with the police. This, ladies and gentlemen, is what it's like to serve alongside a true American hero. I testify to you that if we all had the bond, the respect, and love that Lorne had for his family in blue, the world would be a different place. Lorne was an exemplary man outside the uniform. He always preferred to keep his family life in private, so my words will be brief in order to respect what he would have wanted. Lorne was a devoted family man who honored his vows to his wonderful wife. He was a true example to me in what it took to be a great husband and father. He never did anything to bring dishonor or shame to his family. And we just don't see those things anymore in today's world. His children were his pride and joy. He did it all from reminding his son Magnus that one day he'd grow up to be a champion, to becoming a big teddy bear and going to daddy and daughter date nights with his beautiful daughter, Sorsha. To his beautiful bride, Katrina, his sons, and Sorsha, I want you to know that you were the reason he lived. You were the reason for him to come home. You were his everything. You were his heroes in life. Without you three, he was nothing. In closing, Lorne was a man filled with gratitude. He always made sure to take care of those that took care of him and his loved ones. I am humbled as he would have been to see the outpouring of love and support and prayers that we have received during this difficult time. Family, friends, strangers, communities from all over the world, but most important, our wonderful nation that Lorne loves so much. I can promise you he's smiling down on us tonight. On behalf of Lorne, thank you all for your presence tonight to honor him. To everyone outside of our police family who has brought comfort to his family, thank you. You have been there for them in ways that we can't, and we are forever grateful for that. I know one day we'll see each other again. Until then, you can rest easy, Lorne. We got it from here. You have our word that we will watch over Katrina and the kids as you have watched over us. There won't be a day you're not missed. You have forever changed our lives with our presence, with your presence. It's been an honor. May the Lord receive you in his arms and say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." With heavy hearts, we now bid you farewell, brother. Badge number 8193 is on the 66.